Anyone ever had a bathroom renovated? You ever done that?
Not separately, I had a whole house renovated,
We had,
bathrooms were part of it.
we had somebody come and give us an estimate. It was a while back now, but I've just had to rekindle this. And it was 17,000
That
to
keeps you,
do, but it was just one component of it. And that was to take out the old clawfoot and put a new surround in.
Mhm.
And that's it, 17,000.
Hmm.
And I was like, is that a lot? Like, I really just don't have a concept. I mean, it seems like a lot of money to me. It seems insane,
yeah,
but that's because I paid 10,000 for my house, so it's like more than 10% of the original purchase price. So I get a little confused by these things, but
yes.
you know,
You
it
got
was,
a good deal on the house.
I got a great deal in the house, and
Yeah.
it was 10 years ago, and so
Yeah.
since
Back in the
then, a
old
lot
days.
of that has happened.
Yes,
But
Well-
I just don't know, like, what I'm supposed to, I don't, you know, like, how to
well,
assess
you
that.
could get another.
I gotta
proposal.
get another proposal, I
Right.
do.
But in general, bathrooms and kitchens are
They're expensive,
quite expensive,
They are.
because there's all the, you know,
plumbing,
plumbing and tile and you know, things like that.
yeah.
So is your surround going to be tile?
Well, it is not, actually, it is tile, but it's in sheets, it comes in sheets, it's not individual
No.
bits of tile.
Well, that's the way most tile.
Exactly, they're just, I don't know what you call those, what do you call that? Oh,
Well, if they're small pieces, it's.
it's that much more expensive, it's not small pieces.
Well. I mean, that's what makes putting up small pieces of tile affordable, is that they come to the craftsman already stuck together with that mesh
Oh.
back.
I don't even know if I think it's probably plastic.
Well, whatever it is.
Right.
But, it allows
yeah, they
you to
just
just
stick
take
it right
a
in.
sheet.
Yes.
and
Exactly, that's what it looks like,
you're done,
yes,
rather than have to go one by one.
absolutely. We did that in
It's
our
not
old
a
apartment.
mosaic.
Yeah, in our old apartment in England, we had it all done in mosaic, but it wasn't anywhere near as, I mean, that was like 15 years ago.
Uh-huh,
Very different price point than
Sure.
it is today,
of course.
but, yeah. Hello,
Hello.
I went to City Hall. I thought you guys were more than home.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah,
I like this spot though,
yeah,
for the meeting itself,
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I feel like this is a little bit more manageable than the city hall room because of
Right,
just bigger and.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
arrangement
he-
of the tables.
Yeah,
Don't take
yeah.
that personally. I just thought,
Yeah,
because I meant to ask Rich earlier in the day and go, hey, wait a second, are we meeting at City Hall? And I didn't have time to, and I just thought, oh, my City Hall first.
well, the clerk hasn't moved in back in yet, has she? Her team, I don't think so.
We're all still here. We're
Yeah,
staying
that's what I
here
thought.
until the asbestos is removed in the basement, which.
Oh, there's still asbestos in, oh, ah.
Good idea. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, yeah, we're not moving yet.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't
So
move
that's
on there with asbestos growing on, you would not. What is it, tiles or something?
Pipe wrapping.
Got it, oh, that's not as bad as the tiling, okay.
No.
Yeah. There was tiling in the floors.
Yeah, that's where it normally
Yeah.
is.
That's not private.
Who's doing it?
We haven't gotten a contractor yet. That's the whole up.
Oh, there's a whole lot.
I had T-Bell do it. Yeah, they were excellent, really excellent.
Well, I know that the HHA has a very good contractor as well, that they've worked with many times,
Mhm.
because they have tiles
Mhm.
in those properties that get.
Hi, folks. How are you?
Hi, Rich.
All right, Rich, and you?
Good. So is anyone else coming? It's 6:02.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Josh, anyone know?
No,
who else
Or-
is there? Is anyone else remote?
No. There's four of us. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I guess that's a quorum. Because we're not, I think we're only, what are we, 7, 8 or something like that.
I can't. There are.
Linda's on,
Hi, Linda.
hi. So are we ready to start? Should we give another minute?
Let's do it.
Ready when you are.
We're ready.
All right, here we go. All right, all on call to order 6:02, all in favor or whatever. Here we go. I don't think I need a vote for that. Minutes. I have Linda, did we get minutes from last month or no?
Unless I read the wrong minute.
I sent them
Yes,
midday.
Okay.
I got them.
Yeah,
We got them.
yeah.
I didn't. read.
Oh, okay, I see. I got it. Sorry. Thank you. Earlier today, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Does. Oh, huh. All right, real quick, Linda. I think that the 2024 budget, I submitted a $23,000 budget to the Board of Estimates, not $203,000. So that's
I
one.
didn't notice that.
That's the only amendment that I see as I'm scanning through it, but we'll look at it and then we'll, if anyone else has any other comments on the minutes, we'll vote on it next month after everyone has a chance to look at it. So let's move on. As for the budget itself, I forwarded everyone today the budget, the BEA numbers, which was the same as last year. So I believe it was like 12,005 or 12,009, something like that. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to go look. But the only other question is that we have not received the final invoice from the contractors for Arbor Day. So the contractors haven't sent a final invoice. So we're still waiting on that, which will determine how much money we have left in the 2023 budget.
Okay, I'll send him an email right now about getting an invoice. Kind of surprising.
Well, welcome, Josh. Yay. And the thing is that from my understanding is that any money then not spent this year, you use it, you lose it basically, unless there's any money from grants that rolls over. So we would still have whatever that invoice is, we would still have some funds left over, which I'm bringing to the group for suggestions. It's December 5th.
But we don't know how much it is yet because we don't have the final invoice.
Right.
Is that the deal?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely going to be like a few grandish. It's not like a few $100s. It's like probably a few $1,000s, if at that.
Yeah. I
That
can't
we'll have
remember.
left over.
Right.
Yeah. I think you currently have around 8,000 and that we expect that the invoice from the tree planters will be around 4,000.
Oh, so there's
Yeah.
quite a lot of money.
So you'll have a few $1,000.
Is there some kind of project that we could get going that would be appropriate between now and the end of the year that could get invoice?
Is there something we could buy maybe for next year to plant? Or something now?
I don't know.
All right, let's think about this. We'd have to make a decision and soon.
Well, the only thing that I could think of would be, we talked about having for the planting grant on Harry Howard Avenue of hiring Britt to actually come up with the plan. And there is a budget in the grant for Britt or a landscape architect to come up with a planting plan. I don't know if it would be appropriate, but and she did say that she would get that done in the next 2 weeks. If she billed the CAC instead of the grant, or, and the CAC paid it, and we, then would have more money for more trees for the Harry Howard, or we would have more money to work with for the grant, or is that mixing up stuff that it's like, yeah, that's getting a little.
I would just wanna check with DEC that they would accept another amendment to the budget, because they're expecting us to expend some of those funds for that plan. So if we're
Right.
not, and it's going to trees, then I just need to check with them.
Is that something we should entertain, or is this a lesson in,
Sure.
you lose it, you lose, or you don't use it, you lose it, and so next year we're gonna make sure we use every dime of our
No,
budget?
I don't think we can predict that far in advance, and if we have some legitimate use for money, like the trees that we already have intended to plant,
Right,
if we could set aside some of that money, in whatever way that we could do it, I think that's a good thing. I mean, we don't just have to accept that it's the end of the year and we have $5,000 that we're gonna, let float away.
yeah, no,
What about, I mean, so let me ask you, I don't really understand how these budgets work, so does the money actually have to go out the door by the end of the year, or can it simply be committed but not spent?
It should be committed by the end of the year,
But
if
not
payments need to be pushed until January or February for the services that are rendered this year,
Yeah.
then that's okay. Then
What
we can
about if
do
it were March?
March gets a little tough because that's around when we're trying to close the books for the year.
Cause I'm thinking of this pollinator garden
Mhm.
in the
In the
cemetery,
cemetery,
right?
yeah.
And so if we had $4,000 or $5,000, since we've already agreed as a committee that we want to move forward with that, if we could commit those funds, we can buy materials
Right.
by the end of February, I would assume, for the beginnings of that, because we would have to start doing the plantings in April.
Right. Are there non-plant materials that we could buy? I don't know. Stone, mulch, things that would stay?
That's possible, but I don't think we would spend, we would have to be able to, I mean, if we have $4,000 left, that's the entire garden. That's
Right.
including all the
Yeah.
plants, all the soil, everything.
Mhm.
So maybe we can spend some of it by the end of the year. Right? As long as it's, the question that I have is how much money, at what point do we have to, go out and do bids? If we wanted to, say, use one of the organizations that we used for Arbor Day to
Mhm.
plan this,
Mhm.
to buy the plants, basically to do it for us. Could we make that decision now because we've already worked with them and we're happy with their work and say that that's what
And
we're
it
gonna
will be
do?
under $5,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
And yeah, if it's. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's under 5,000. We're,
1,000, you still need 3 proposals.
yeah,
Under 1,000, you don't.
So we could spend 1,000 now. Right, of the money that we have left and buy things like soil and all that stuff, if we can sort of wrap our heads around what would need to happen.
Right, commit.
Commit.
To buying that.
Yeah, and then buy. And then do, yeah, we would have to have the 3 in by the end of January, right?
Yeah.
And then we could have someone selected pretty quickly and I'm just thinking that's the way to go, to spend that money on that pollinator garden, since that's
Well,
what
and
we
that
really
is
wanna
something
do
we
that.
really wanted to do, it's not messing with the
Yeah.
grant, keeping that separate, and
And we
it
voted
was
for
something
it.
that we've already planned on doing. I think that's great. I don't know where we could take delivery on stuff, in January, or it's by the end of the year.
I know.
And it's not gonna be my driveway.
I don't even
What-
have one, or I.
What I had suggested in the email that we were emailing about this earlier today is that the CAC could approach the common council with a proposal to expand next year's budget by the unexpended amount. So that you don't have to worry about getting everything in by the end of December.
Okay,
That would
And-
be great.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then you do what you need to do in the spring.
Yeah.
You're basically, you're not actually encumbering funds, but effectively.
alright, let's do that.
Do it.
Yeah.
That sounds
So-
pretty stressful.
So I would suggest preparing a resolution for the council to look at this month.
Okay,
Tom, do you agree?
Yes, because there's, the idea of just spending the money because it's there
Right.
doesn't look really that responsible. Whereas if you have an actual project ready to go later, next year or for next year, the council will be more amenable to it, I think.
All right, so we'll put together a resolution that says that X, as soon as we get this invoice, X number of thousands of dollars that are left over, we would like to put into a pollinator garden project using these funds left over from 2023 budget into the project for 2024.
Yeah.
yep,
How's that sound? Would it, the
Great.
funds would be earmarked for a specific project then?
that's great, and then we know what we're doing, then we know we have the
Yeah.
money and we can move forward with that.
Yeah, great, because right, we're just like coming up with stuff right now just to spend the money. Because
Yeah, it could be.
Fine. let's do that. All right, I will email someone to get this moving along. Fair enough. Thank you, everyone, for that. Okay, next. Arbor Day, any, other than the invoice, any other updates? Hillary?
No, except that I went through the list of all of the different, there was a list that Britt had started with people that had said that they would like to have trees, and some got planted in 22 and some got planted in 23. And then I made the list of the people more people have let me know that they would like trees if there's a possibility for it in 24. So I have that list set. One thing I want to make sure we do is we keep this list. I'm gonna keep a copy of it on my computer, even if I'm no longer on the CAC, because I'm very afraid. But I just don't want to lose any information, because we have to update the tree inventory, and we have had a lot of trees planted since Miguel Barrios did the tree inventory. But I have tidied up all of those people that are interested, that we know of so far, that are interested in having trees. And in fact, one of the things that came up today, and I really liked it, especially as I arrived here this evening, is that Fire Commissioner Tim Hutch would like a tree in his neighborhood. But also he mentioned here at the firehouse, there is space that could accommodate trees. And I think it would be really great that sort of wonderful grass lawn out in front, if it's not an obstruction for anybody, to put in a substantial tree, but also maybe something that casts shade on the parking lot here at the fire station. So that was a nice thing to think about doing. Anyway, so that's sort of, I think, the full update from fall 23 and going into 24 Arbor Day concept stuff.
Do you have the list of all the trees that we've planted so far the past couple of years of listing? Because I know it was on a Google Share Drive. Maybe we should put that on the CAC Share Drive.
But I am just so bad at doing Google
You're
Share
getting
Drive
better, Hillary.
that
That's
I
okay.
am sure that it's here, and I will make, then we can do it, as long as there's a copy somewhere else that I don't screw it up. I don't know why I'm so bad at that.
You could email myself or Josh, and we'll just make sure that everyone has a copy now.
Yeah,
Great. Thank you so much, Hillary. Um, next item, tree ordinance. So where are we with that? That's also you, Hillary.
Okay, well, so all of the notes that I put in a month ago, I guess never went anywhere, no, because I'm so bad at share drive. But I did yesterday, I put in all my notes again, and I believe I saved them correctly, and were you able to find the document? Good, in the share drive. Okay, so I think unless people, and for some reason, I couldn't see what Joshua had put in as suggestions, and I hope they weren't conflicting.
No, I didn't put in it, I had emailed just some thoughts, but I hadn't put anything directly into the document.
Oh,
So I looked back at what you responded with, and I thought everything was very appropriate.
Okay, so if we're all good with the document as it is on the share drive with comments from the city attorney, Crystal Pack, and my replies to her, then I think it's ready for Margaret and the legal committee to take it to the next step, or, you know, to at least consider the input that we're giving back. I'm looking at.
And that's this week, correct?
Yes, their meeting is on Thursday, and I do have another commitment that day. So I want to get this to Margaret soon and see if I can chat with her tomorrow, just so that, if they need me for anything, I can either do it as a call in or write in as an email or something like that.
And so, yeah, they're still reviewing it and debating it, so the legal committee. So it hasn't moved out of legal at this point, so.
I had one question that I think Margaret had called out last time about the number of people on the tree board specifically. And I think it still had 7 in there, and I was wondering if 5 felt more feasible. Given just how hard it is to get people onto committees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
So I just wanted to raise that.
And I forgot to mention that in there, that, or to, take that suggestion. So I would write that in an email. But Rich, will you do me the favor of sending the shared document to Margaret? I'm looking at this owl, as if it's you.
To Margaret, yeah. I just forwarded it to everyone. I will forward it to Margaret right now. And maybe we should just say like a minimum of X number of people on the tree board? Or
That's a
what?
way to do it.
Yeah.
Because like Crystal's suggestion of saying that the committee would meet 6 times a year just to set a minimum, since this is, it can always go more, that it shouldn't go less. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Again, I'm looking at this.
Well, that makes it look to the other people like you are looking at them rather
Oh,
than
yeah.
looking at the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, so did we decide on the number of people for the tree board or no?
5.
5.
Minimum.
Okay. All right, I'm forwarding to Margaret right now. Done. Okay, next. Community choice aggregation. Josh and or Marie, you're on.
I haven't heard an update. I think the last we heard, the Common Council was going to be voting on the final version. But Tom or Michael, do you have any updates on where that is?
Is that vote happening this month, Tom?
Should be. Again, I think it was sort of stuck with Margaret. So let me find out where, or maybe it was with Crystal. There were some questions that had to be answered before we could finish with it. Let me check with Crystal, because I know she had some comments.
Thank you, and happy to be looped into if it's helpful with Crystal.
Sure, definitely. Rich, could you move the agenda up so I can see? Ah, there we go. Thank you.
Oh, that's Mike.
It's me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Michael. Sorry.
Michael. Okay, next, tree grants. The DEC grant. The one in the spring and then the other one for round 16, which is still out there, which we haven't reapplied yet. So we were talking about the spring run, the spring grant, and Brit involvement. Any other updates to that, Hillary? Michael?
Well, if Brit's proposal was amenable, then, and signed, then she would have the, basic plan for the planting done in the next couple of weeks, and then we can, send out, a new RFP. A new RFP in January. I don't want to push things.
Yeah, no, that
You have a very full plate. That we could send out a new RFP and, move on that and for spring. So I think that's where that is. Michael might know more than I do about the round 16 grant idea.
Yeah, is it still, I'm not sure if it's round 16 technically, but the, for the tree maintenance.
Right.
Proposal. So we just got an email, I think, from our, new writer at LaBerge, who's gonna take care of this one for us. The question right now that I posed to Rob Perry, haven't gotten a response yet, is about what to do about the inventory, because we were previously working with the inventory, which had not been updated since the storms in August that took down a lot of the trees that we intended to have a contractor take down for us. So we need a more accurate count of the trees that are still up and at risk, or unhealthy. So my question to Rob was around updating that inventory with the help of the city's contractor that has done a lot of the work to do removals, and basically go down the list with them and strike out the ones that they know are no longer with us. And then use that updated inventory to go out, to get some quotes to create the proposal. So that all kind of has to happen rather quickly, because I think the deadline's at the sort of like end of January. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your email out to Rob Perry. Has he responded or no?
Not yet. I'll follow up with him this week.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Funding available for this? From the DEC,
I think it was 75,000
Yeah.
was the maximum award.
which would probably be
Right.
for our needs.
It would cover basically all of the ones that we would need to be removed, aside from the ones that are going to be removed as part of other projects. That's kind of what the strategy was there.
Right.
Okay, great. So you're gonna follow up with Rob Perry so we can update the inventory and then update the grant.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Otherwise, the proposal's already written.
Right. Perfect. Next is the front lawn pollinator gardens. I emailed Vicky about leaving the front lawn's length at 10 inches, which is the state, whatever the state inches are, state law. I have not heard back, so I'm taking this off the agenda for next month.
Okay.
I'm assuming everything is fine.
Okay.
Heat pumps, I got another email back from the coordinators, the consultants. I needed to send something that proved that we actually did some tabling, just as an FYI. When we do tabling, we should take pictures that we're doing tabling. I found the farmer's market flyer back from April that said that we were there, but just to prove that we actually did some tabling. So just a little FYI on that, folks. So I'm submitting that for the grant money. Pollinator garden for the cemetery entrance. I'm going to, can I, yes?
Sorry, I just wanna go back to that heat pump issue because we talked last month about me finding out how many heat pumps have actually been installed. And
All
so
right.
I spoke to a couple of, installers. And, that we are aware of, that I can find. There are very few heat pump systems installed in the city of Hudson. The few that I found one, literally one house in the last year that got a full heat pump system, which includes heat and cooling.
Right. The charm.
Yeah, but there are also something called, I forget now, I'm having a mental block, something split,
The mini
something,
splits,
mini splits.
those are heat pumps as well.
Yes, but they are predominantly for cooling. They don't necessarily have to be for heating as well. They could be installed.
Well-
Could you install sorry, go ahead, Rich.
Well, they already sent me the 5 addresses of heat pumps that were installed in the city of Hudson, so we don't need to find any more.
And they were definitely installed in 12534.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yes, okay, that's fine. I'm not getting another word.
right. I'm not like gonna, you know, what's the expression? Don't like,
No, it's fine.
yeah. Look a gift horse. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, fine. Pollinator Garden for cemetery entrance, I'm gonna write a resolution to to put together a project to push the money forward into 2024. Great. I might actually need your help with that, Mr. Hoffman, so I will email you about that. Climate vulnerability assessment and climate action planning, which is that, I don't know if that goes with the climate action, maybe not. The next one as well, two together, maybe not. But is this the, help me out, the survey as well?
Yeah,
I took that today.
okay. The survey was the last thing that they had
Yeah.
sent us as follow-up from the last meeting.
Did
And
anyone else
We have
get it?
until Christmas Eve.
I didn't think,
Yeah.
I thought it was,
exactly.
I
Did
thought,
everyone, did everyone do it?
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it was. I don't know, maybe this is not the forum to discuss that. No, let's just move on.
yeah.
Right, we just need to fill out the survey. We need to get as many people as possible to fill out the survey. Is that it?
Yeah,
Right? Carol
Right.
posted it. Where else, what else should we do? What else needs to be done?
So you
that's-
posted, well, thank you.
So yeah, I posted it on the city website, on
Right.
the City of Hudson Instagram, and on Hudson Hub. And I think I'll do another push for it this week, since I think some of the activity got drowned out with Winterwalk. So,
Okay. All right, so if everyone in this room can do the survey, you do a push, I'll do a push, Carol pushed, and we'll see who else can do it. That's great. Thank you.
Question, Rich, question about the CAC Instagram. Is Vanessa still updating that? I haven't checked it out, but.
You know what? I will, the best way is, she kind of is. If you send her the image with the link, if you DM her on our CAC Instagram, she will most likely post it. That's what happened with the last press release. That's what I did. And she did post.
And it's possible she did already post on there.
it is not.
I don't think so, but maybe. So we can, Vanessa, yeah, I mean, the best way to get in touch with her is via Instagram direct message. Great.
Thank you.
Solar on municipal hardscapes, Ryan Wallace, from my understanding, that resolution had a special meeting, but nobody came and there was no quorum to vote on it. Or not enough people came.
I've got the list of all the potential contractors. So if we revive that, I've got a list.
All right, well, as of right now, this
It's
project is,
The application was submitted to Partners for Climate Action, so we'll have to go back to the council when for a resolution to accept the funds and go move forward if it is awarded.
Oh.
But the project was proposed to the granting institution, so it's not dead. It's
Oh.
just Yeah,
All right, good.
yeah, the council didn't support it, which may hinder the application, but so we were.
So if Partners for Climate Action gives this part of the grant money, it would go back to the council to vote to accept it?
Right, to accept it and also establish the project budget.
Yeah, because it's $100,000, but if we accept it, we have to spend, what is it, Michael, $1.5 million?
Yeah, 1.6 million, something like that.
So
Yeah, it's a large
that
project.
idea didn't go over very well,
Yeah,
as you can
imagine,
imagine.
I imagine.
Right. Right, which
Okay.
the tax, right, I don't understand.
But I should mention, of that 1.6, almost $500,000 is the roof repair. That's part of the
Right.
project, which is gonna have to be done eventually anyway. So a case could be made that, the $1 million for the solar will pay for itself over time.
Yeah,
But
Still
We'll
$1
see.
million for solar panels on the roof?
that sounds
Yeah.
like,
Well, including the,
oh, not just the roof, it's also a spot behind the water treatment plant.
Oh,
I thought that part of it was also to do an analysis of where there were opportunities. I thought that was part of it, and so we've already identified the location?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
that's.
it's been a while, I haven't, okay,
Does it also still include the, area up by the reservoir on Rossman?
Yeah, that's the other spot,
It's two locations.
Okay.
Mhm.
one I just mentioned.
it sounds like there's lots of ifs, so we'll see how this
Indeed.
progresses.
You said water treatment, I was thinking sewer treatment, got it,
Oh,
okay,
slow on the uptake here.
all right, I'm gonna breeze to the next one, Climate Carnival 2024, we'll figure that out. Instagram, we kind of talked about that, sorry, dorks. Anti-idling law, Marie sent it, I forwarded it to everyone earlier today, just this evening. So it's not even on the agenda, sorry. Or maybe it is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Anti-idling laws. Marie forwarded a draft, I forwarded it to everyone, so if everyone can please read it. And then we'll vote on it, I guess, next month.
yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions or comments.
Great.
And we'll get it sorted.
Should we attempt putting that up on the share drive as well, so you can comment? Should we
Sure.
try
Sure.
anti-idling on share drive?
I know.
All right, great. Barge parking on Hudson, I don't have any other updates on this one. I think Tom sent something over last week.
Yeah,
So,
and I do have some updates. All of our representatives at the higher level have spoken against it and written against it.
right,
so-
In the article maybe you sent, Tom, or some article I read was saying that they had backed off the idea of these barges and that it's not on the table right now.
oh, good.
Interesting.
So probably because of all this opposition. So it doesn't mean it's not gonna happen in the future, but right now it's not on the table, is what I looked at.
What I sent to the CAC a month ago was that it came up in 2016, so it does get revived, so.
Yeah,
I mean, is this something that we want to address as we want to take a stance on this, or what do people feel?
No, I don't think it's necessary.
Well, if it's already been tabled because, people with a lot more
Clout.
clout, power.
As they would say in the courts,
Budget.
it's moot.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Next issue, the Hectate Copake Solar Farm. I received information from Vicky Saunders. I forwarded that to everyone yesterday, the day before. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it yet, but if not, it's in your inbox or in the group inbox. So she probably is looking for us to take a stance on this. However, I believe the Hudson Common Council has already passed a resolution against it back last
Yes.
February.
In
So
February.
is this also moot? I mean, is there anything else we can do?
No, I think they're looking for people to show up at various event meetings and things.
Yeah, there's this public hearings happening in January that we've been requested to attend. So, we can find the information and send to the CAC, and if you're interested and want to, you can show up, and you have to register for them, but do that.
Right, there was a January 9th meeting she talked about. So I haven't read all the documentation, so I don't know.
Yeah, they wanted to come speak to you, but there's really no need. It's all there in the documents.
So I just want to ask a philosophical question.
Ooh.
That, you know, our role is to be an advisory council to the common council, to city hall, and to, so you know that role. So this is sort of saying, if you choose to take a sort of more activist role, it's okay, because the city has already written a resolution that fits with this. I guess I don't know if you're saying that the CAC should take an activist or anti-role out in public within another township
Well,
as the CAC.
she wants us to round up the troops, as she.
Yeah, I
as she
read
put
the
it. And
terminology.
I don't see that as our role, to
I mean, I'm
rally,
a counter.
rally the population to show up at a meeting.
Right, so
Right,
and
yeah,
I'm not saying that I'm against it. I've been a very activist-minded person my entire life. I just am wondering if it's crossing some line with the role the CAC is supposed to take. And that's what I found a little bit odd about her request. It was like, oh, it sounds like she wants to get, you know, give us your riffraff and your rabble rousers and we've got some fodder for them. And I was like going, I don't think that's our role, even
Well,
if we see that.
yeah, I mean, from my understanding, our role is to advise our own common council. Which we didn't even advise them when they wrote a resolution, I guess, back in February. So, which I find odd that we weren't involved in that process, but okay. I would imagine that would be the process that we'd be involved in, not now.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And this particular solar project is very controversial, and there's two opposing community groups.
Yep.
In Copake who are butting heads frequently on it, and the ones that I personally find myself aligning with on other climate issues is the one that's in favor of this
Right.
project.
Yes,
They're the ones
me too.
who are aligned with the state goals and have more climate background than this particular group. So it's obviously very controversial.
I mean, you
project.
could go, I would imagine, and be your own representative, as long as you
course,
don't
yes.
represent the city of Hudson or the CAC.
right. And that's why I
So-
was asking this as a philosophical question. Are you, yeah, if we do it, are we representing ourselves or the CAC or the city of Hudson or?
I mean, if the city of Hudson has already passed a resolution opposing the project, then obviously we would not, as a CAC, have a different opinion.
Well, as a group, no.
As a group.
Actually,
Individuals
We
might.
can show up and be positive.
it wasn't so much in opposition to the project, by the way. It was more about how the state has gone forward with this project. I don't know if you follow this, but all of these solar projects have been given an expedited pass-through by the state. So it doesn't require seeker. It doesn't require all these things. And that's the part that, oh, look at Rich's dog. That's the part that, you know, we were just saying it should be done with a proper method. Not
Okay,
the way
well,
Oh, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
that seems like a reasonable position.
Yeah. Although, wouldn't the common council bounce that back to us, Tom, for advice?
they probably could have or should have,
It's not our job.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, given that it wasn't really for or against in a conventional way, it was more about the process.
Well.
Okay.
I'll
Which
be
is
on the
why I
council.
bounce those people towards you, you know?
Well,
just
anyway,
kidding.
I'll be on the council next year, so we'll make sure
Yes.
that
You can
There's
watch. You
there's,
can-
yeah, I'll keep watch.
That's good, that's good.
Okay, next is an added bonus item. Here we go. From Marie last minute, which is not on the agenda. It's a surprise.
Oh, the surprise,
The
yes.
surprise. Anyone want to guess the surprise?
Cookies?
No,
Oh, I should have brought them though. I feel bad
it's
now.
a single-use plastic ban. Close.
Yes,
Close.
yeah, so close to cookies, you can't believe it. That, I'm just amazed. I did, we had sort of briefly talked about this last month about implementing, or looking or exploring a single-use plastic ban in the city of Hudson. So I've done some research and I haven't had a chance to mail it all out to you. But I'll just be quick and say that the state of New York, I actually reached out to Dee Dee Barrett's office. The state of New York has two pieces of legislation currently well, one of them is in committee and the other one is, well, one of them has both a Senate and Assembly sponsor and one of them only has a Senate sponsor. And they're both related to single-use plastic, particularly with regards to the producer at the producer level. So in other words, if you were a business in the state of New York and you wanted to purchase, for example, straws, that would be very difficult if if this bill was passed. And I will send you information about the bills, because I feel like there are very few examples of single-use plastic bans outside of New York City in the state of New York that I can find. So unless someone knows of something that I did not find, the models just really aren't there, because it's very hard in a way to ban single-use plastic unless you're a really big municipality and you actually have people working for you who could go out and who are inspecting, right? We don't have.
We have no enforcement, right?
Right.
Yeah, so enforcement is really difficult. So I
Yeah.
think maybe the thing to do here is to write a strong letter of support to our Assembly and Senate members, and I would be happy to draft that in support of a single-use plastic ban. It is a lengthy document. I think it's like 124 pages, so I wouldn't recommend reading the whole thing, but supporting, and I'll put something together, because I just haven't had a chance to look at it.
Thank you.
And doing it ourselves, because I think that's messy.
Oh, yeah.
And something like that, we could put in front of the Common Council as a resolution, so the Common Council could also vote on it and support.
Absolutely, I think that would be really good.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
So that's something we could do, yeah. Because, right, like you said, we can't do it on a city level because there's no enforcement.
No.
We have no one to go out. That's the county level and the health department or whoever would do it, but on at the state level. But yeah, we have one here.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you want to put together a letter and or a resolution, Marie, that would be great. We could push that forward.
yep.
Thank you for doing that work.
Yeah, that's great.
Did any, I went to, the talk that Judith Ink did.
Oh,
at the
Beyond Plastic.
library.
Yep.
Judith Ink from Beyond Plastics, and it was really good. She is very inspiring and very down to earth. She's a fun speaker. But the most recent email, now of course I'm on the email list, and it was how to do holiday gift giving with zero plastic.
All right.
You probably get it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually on their website and they do have a lot of resources. So there are alternatives to outright bans on single-use plastic that they recommend for small municipalities. So I thought we could maybe look at some of those too, but
Albany County, I think, has some laws that on this, that we could, like a straw, they don't offer straw.
It's
straws
the,
like
get,
that,
it's
so
the,
like those
I
types
think
of-
it's called, Get Stuff Done. It's part of a statewide program, or it's actually, might even be part of like a national program where you, things like straws, plastic utensils, little packets of, ketchup and things like that are not included in the to-go packaging. So it's kind of eliminate the excess stuff that automatically ends up in landfills because no one ever uses it, particularly delivered at home. So that's something we could certainly look at, and that's more of a voluntary thing anyway. It's required in New York City. And that's very recent legislation.
Good.
Great. All right, Marie, thank you for that.
Yeah,
I had only a couple other things like the 1,000 Cities campaign, which I'm still holding on to. Is that anything, Michael?
No updates.
No update? Should I keep it on this agenda or no? What do you think? Talk to me.
Yeah, keep it on the agenda.
Okay, fair enough. City Streets Lights Project.
Yes, we are close to finalizing a closing date with National Grid. There's just some paperwork that we have to get from our insurers. Once we close on the purchase, our contractor will be ready to go, basically ready to go in the spring to do the conversion. So
Good.
expect to see that work happening in the next few months.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good news. Okay. That's all. That's really the only other things I have. City Parks Director, do we want to talk about that right now? No, too late. Anyone else? Anything else? No? Going once, going twice. All right, that's all she wrote, folks. So, call to adjourn. Anyone?
yes.
So moved.
There we go. And so it be, so it is. All right. Thank you all so very much for coming. Thanks for playing. And so next meeting is the next meeting January 2nd,
Oh, boy.
right? Does that make sense? The Tuesday, January 2nd. All right. That's what I have on the calendar.
Tune in next month.
All right.
I don't see why not. Tom, we don't need like an organizational, is he gone? Maybe he's gone. There's no organizational meeting, right? We can continue. Right?
Yeah, we don't have to do
Yeah.
anything special.
Okay, fine, great. Thank you. That's it.
Well,
Have a
thank
good
you.
night, folks.